Greetings, people. I come again in peace. Well, Tszyu didn't think there was much upstairs with Bakhram Zaliev, did he? Tszyu is a very good fighter, but again, you've got someone that didn't show enough discretion and caution for his opponent. Who in their right mind goes into a fight with a Chechen combatant warrior without being 100% vigilant? Tim's dad is from a mining town in Russia and fought for Russia in the Soviet era, but I think he was in the army as well. He won a few championships at world level and European level. So Tim has a solid pedigree. Before the fight, he said he wants to put on, quote, a badass performance, relentless, ruthless, and something that shocks people and my opponent, end quote. You see, that shouldn't be the mindset going into a fight with an unbeaten Chechen that is known to be unyielding and resolute with his forward offensive. Bakhram had a much longer reach, 4 inches I believe, and is all-round bigger man, and you better believe he'd know how to use those advantages. Regardless of your abilities and skills, if you thought you were that talented, then you should have used that talent to frustrate and wear down Zaliev before standing in front of him. You have to take into account, Bakhram probably has very little distractions. Being a devout Muslim who fasts and abstains from toxoids, you can bet he was completely locked in. These men are more or less ascetics, austere and self-denying, solely focused on their vocation, purpose, assignment. Adversely, the Tszyu are national heroes in Australia. His father's legendary, Tszyu. He has a brother, Nick, I think, that fights as well. The media was all over him. You see, Tim, although being a very good fighter, still suffers from the blight, the plague, the scourge of the Western fighter. Smugness. I don't know why alarm bells aren't ringing when facing these guys. Tszyu might have trained hard, but mentally, he didn't give Bakhram enough respect. He was way too arrogant, and let's just face it, he isn't going to be as tough as Bakhram.
Tszyu here with Pablo. Come inside the house and check it out. This is Chef. I remember when we were building this house, we got this big ceilings type feel just to be able to, just come into this room and just hang out. Right. Yeah, we've got a Russian sauna, as me. And I'm always jumping in the pool, straight after the sauna. So that hot and cold combination just works wonders.
Tim probably didn't need to box. He was just following his father's footsteps. And he definitely had an easier life, comparably. He should have known better to underestimate someone like Bakhram. Tim elected to stand in front of Zaliev, as if he could intimidate him. Tim traded up with Murta and managed to tag him with a straight right, and then slipped a 2-3, a right and a left hook salvo, while still in range. Then Tszyu decided it was his turn again, and went with a lead shovel hook to the body, without a setup or dipping his knees, and dropping his right hand at the same time. What could possibly go wrong? Murta took full advantage and went with a lead hook which integrated perfectly with Tim's jaw. Tim went down and he never really recovered after that. Tim defiantly tried to hold his ground, but to no avail. The second knockdown came when Tszyu successfully defended a left hook, only for Bakhram to adjust, throw a straight right with a straight left instead of a hook behind it. A reverse 1-2, a 2-1, very clever. Tim went down again, but made it to his feet. I don't know why, but Tim insisted on going toe-to-toe, and went down again by a clubbing right to the side of his head. He was still already teetering after being hit by rights and lefts. I thought the fight should have been called at this point, but it was the end of the round. He was taking quite a shellacking, a real drubbing. So he made it into the third round, and again, he tagged Bakhram with a 1-2 through his guard while Bakhram was on the ropes. Then he went for a delayed left hook to the body, without dipping his knees and dropping his right hand in the process. Murta threw his now customary left hook, as requested, and Tszyu was on the canvas again. He got to his feet, but to only be met with an onslaught that he could no longer defend against. His corner threw in a towel, which was the merciful thing to do. They could have stopped it earlier, to be honest. I've seen fighters get permanently damaged because the fight wasn't going to the script and the corner refused to see the reality of the situation. Hopefully, Tim makes a full recovery. Whether he'll be the same again, time will tell. Tszyu, before the fight, thought Bakhram Murtazaliev was stupid, dumb. His words, by the way. A bigger circus clown than Fundora, he said.
Oh, he's different. Tszyu ain't no Jack Holcar. You know, that's the difference. Obviously on the night, man, I really adapt and adjust. People really underestimate my boxing skills. They really think I just walk forward, but no, there's a lot more to that.
Stylistic.
It just doesn't make any sense at all.
Do you see he's struggling to make weight?
No, I don't think he's struggling. I think he's stupid. Just dumb. That's all I see.
Remember when we said Fundora, like the circus clowns come out, is he?
Yeah, this one's a bigger one.
Where's his...
Well, that hasn't worn well. This was striking because of the amount of contempt Tszyu had for Bakhram. And Bakhram didn't show any signs that he would be an easy night's work. The IQ Bakhram showed was a lot higher than his. Tim was intelligently disposed of. Just look at the last left hook that floored Tim. It was quick, short, all of a sudden, and thrown deliberately to bypass his guard. You've got to be quite dense and obtuse yourself to not understand what was in front of you and to try to fight the way he did. His hubris and conceit caught up with him in this fight. Let's chalk that up to another spoilt fighter learning a valuable lesson. Hopefully, he can go on from here with his newfound wisdom and be more circumspect and respectful of his opponents. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please subscribe if you like. But remember, choose life.